Hi, hello, it's Nikki, and welcome to my messy bookshelf. Today, I am here to share my slightly unhinged pile of possibilities for the month of March. So, I will get into them. So, March is probably one of the busiest months of the year for me. It has my daughter's birthday, my wedding anniversary. It also happens to be the month where several of my favorite booktube events take place. So I am going to be very disciplined this month and not be so much of a mood reader, because that is my downfall, I think. But I am participating in a few events this March, and I thought I would share what I plan on reading, or at least my pile of possibilities. I will read some of these. I know that I will not read everything, and I will likely find some other things that I will want to read as well. So, starting off, the first event that I am participating in is March of the Mammoths, and this will be my third year participating in March of the Mammoths. And the idea behind March of the Mammoths is just taking one of those really mammoth books off your shelf, 800 pages or more, the ones that tend to be very daunting and, scary to us because they're so big, and just making progress in the book. You don't have to finish the book, but you do have to read the book during the month of March. And I have two possibilities here because I can't control myself. So I started reading both of them like this week, and I want to read both of them. And I know that that is not possible in the time that I have this month. So, yeah, the first one that I have here is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. And I have been wanting to read this for quite some time. And I know it's a lot of people's favorite. It is considered one of the greatest works of literature. I know all of those things. However, I started reading it, and it was pretty freaking amazing. So this book follows Edmond Dantes, and he is a young sailor, a first mate of a ship, and he is wrongfully imprisoned, and the whole book is about him getting revenge. And I have read the first couple of chapters, and I want to stick with it. So I have quite a dilemma here, because I did pick up another mammoth book that I also want to read, and that is The Stand by Stephen King. I know this is a lot of people's favorite Stephen King novel. I have never read a Stephen King novel, and I thought that I would get started with Stephen King with this book because I have been on a dystopian kick, and this book is about a deadly flu that wipes out most of humanity, and then there are two people who kind of set themselves up as leaders, and they're kind of, I guess, opposed to each other. One is good, one is evil, allegedly. The first chapter was very, very page-turning, so I was kind of just flicking through it and started reading, and now I want to read this. So I have a dilemma here because I cannot read two mammoth books like this. So maybe I will leave this for Big Book Summer. I am not sure, but I think I am going to stick with The Count of Monte Cristo. So that is that for March of the Mammoths. The next event that I am so excited about, also, I believe, my second or third year participating, something close to my heart, and that is March Mystery Madness. I love mystery. Mystery was one of the genres that kind of shaped me as a reader. So I really love the theme that they came up with for this year, and that is to read around the world. And there are 3 prompts, and you are to read a mystery set in another country or continent from where you live. The author, read a book by an author who is from another country, and read a translated work. So I have a couple of suggestions. I have 3. So The first one fulfills 2 of the prompts, and this is the Satapur Moonstone by Sujata Massey. And this is book 2 in a mystery series. I read book 1 a few years ago and I loved it. It follows a woman lawyer in the 1920s, an Indian woman lawyer in India in the 1920s. And the first book was amazing. And so I knew that I would probably love this one as well. So it is not a translated work though, so it would fulfill 2 of the prompts. So this is a contender for March Mystery Madness. The other one that I have is actually, I pre-ordered the book Strange Buildings by Uketsu. And if you have watched my channel, you know that I read Strange Pictures and Strange Houses in 2025, and I have been eagerly awaiting that book. So, that one is set to be released on March 3rd, so I will get it in the beginning of the month. So that one fulfills all 3 prompts because it is a translated work and it is set and written by someone from another country than myself. The other one that I have also fulfills all 3 prompts, though I think this is kind of more of a horror and not necessarily a mystery. I think it kind of falls between, and that is the Empusium by, I cannot say her name, Olga Tokarczuk. And this is, I believe she's Polish. And this book is set in Poland and follows a young Pole that suffers from tuberculosis and arrives at a health resort in the mountains, and something is hunting them. So it sounds amazing. It sounds very amazing. So I think between that one and the Strange Buildings one, because they fulfill all 3 prompts, probably go with one of these 2. But I have been wanting to read this one. So I'm keeping it out. And we will see. I will get to at least one of these books, though, in the month of March. So that is March Mystery Madness. And then my other favorite event in March. I love this event. And that is Middle Grade March. And I will be participating again in Middle Grade March. And for that event, you just have to read 1 middle grade book. However, there is also a group read if you choose to participate, and I have quite a few middle grade books here that I would like to share. The first one is Max in the House of Spies, and this is actually the group read for the event. So I will be reading this. This is by Adam Gidwitz, and this is about a young Jewish boy during World War II and the Holocaust, and gets sent on the Kindertransport, which is how they used to transport the Jewish children out of the country to escape the Holocaust. So he is separated from his family and decides that he wants to convince the British to make him a spy. And that is all I know about this book, and it sounds amazing. I just read The Diary of a Young Girl and The Nightingale, so I'm kind of interested in where this is gonna go. The next one I have here is one that I have been saving for Middle Grade March. I have been dying to read this book, and that is Impossible Creatures by Catherine Rundell. And this is about a little boy who finds a half-drowned baby griffin and saves it, and also at the same time saves a little girl that he becomes friends with, and they discover that they have to save an archipelago that has a bunch of mythical creatures on it. So the thing I love about middle grade is how fantastical and magical it is. So you had me at dragons and griffins, you know, and saving the world. So I have been dying to read that, so I will most definitely, I think, read that book. I have a couple of others, but in Middle Grade March, I also like to read something with my daughter, who is of that age. And I have 2 selections here, and the first one is one that is very meaningful to me, and that is Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, by Judy Blume. And this one follows a young girl as she is going through puberty. And this book is the last book that my own late mother ever read to me when I was about the same age as my daughter. So holds a very special place in my heart, and it's about that age. So definitely a contender. I would like to share that experience with her, and we like to read books together throughout the year, but especially middle grade March. The next one I have is because she gave me her first ever book recommendation, and I read it and I loved it. And so this one is by the same author, and this is The Magician's Elephant by Kate DiCamillo. And I believe this one is about a little boy searching for his sister, and he is given some cryptic words about following the elephant. And that is all I know. But if it's anything near as good as Because of Winn-Dixie, I think we will enjoy this. So it's between these two for my read along with my daughter. And then I have a couple of other books here as well. This one is Dark Waters by Catherine Arden. And I read the first two books in this series for middle grade March last year and have been waiting to read this one. And we are back with our friends Olly and Brian and Coco. And they are, I think, like 12 years old, 11 or 12 years old. And they have been being hunted by a mysterious, otherworldly being called the Smiling Man. And these are very creepy and delightful books, so I am looking forward to this one. This one, they are going sailing and they are being hunted by a creature in the sea and on land. So I look forward to this one. I loved the first two books. And then the last one that I have here is called Alebrijes by Donna Barba Higuera. And this is book 2 in the Last Cuentista series. I recently read The Last Cuentista, and I loved it. So I would love to continue on in this world. And this is another dystopian novel following a catastrophic event that took place on Earth. In the first book, they had to leave Earth, but there were some survivors on Earth, and that's what this book is about. So I know that book 3 is scheduled to be released this year as well, so I do want to read this so that I can get to book 3 when that comes out. So I have a lot of possibilities. I usually fly through middle grade pretty quickly. I mean, it's pretty easy to read and very page turning, but I am participating in all of these events. I am also listening to the Glass Hotel for the event that I am co-hosting with my friend Jessica from On a Stack of Books, and that is the Audiomiles event that we are doing, and that is just to walk and listen to an audiobook. And we, myself and her and a couple of other people, will be reading The Glass Hotel, and anyone is welcome to join. I know March is a very busy month, but would love to have you. But yeah, those are my possibilities so far for the month of March, and I would love to hear, especially with the middle grade books, which one I should read with my daughter, because I'm not sure. But yeah, I thank you so much if you stuck around to the end of this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.